trends and predictions for the year. We are all thrilled to have you here join us this evening, and it's actually our first webinar for the year, and that's actually what's making it more interesting. On the other hand, we can also say it's a perfect time to dive into this subject as it's a perfect time to dive into this subject as we are still in the early part of the first quarter of the year. Yeah. So I can say it's a lot easier to measure your success and advancements in this journey of cybersecurity. We have our Director General, Mr. Victor P. Dono, sending his regards to every member who is currently present in this webinar. So without further ado, we are going to proceed now. Sorry, a moment. All right, on the screen here, you can see we have our agenda for tonight's session, and I believe everyone can see my screen. So the key areas we're going to be focusing on are introduction and overview, the state of cybersecurity, cybersecurity career paths and specializations, trends and predictions for the year, getting started in cybersecurity, and finally building a strong cybersecurity portfolio. These are actually key areas we are going to be looking at this evening. And it will also interest you to know that we'll be revealing the top 3 winners of our CYSEC NG Hack the Yuletide CTF Challenge at the end of this webinar. Yeah. So we are also going to be giving out free time to a couple of persons who will get our questions right at the end of this session. So please stay with us till the end to get all the updates on all of these. All right, let's begin. I would like to lay down the guidelines for this webinar, so we'll stay guided. This session is to run for approximately 60 minutes, including a Q&A session at the end. Questions will be dropped in the chat box during the sessions. So we'll address as many as possible. So if you have any question, kindly just drop it on the chat box available. So finally, the recordings for this webinar is going to be shared to everyone currently in attendance. So if you didn't get any point or you miss out on any parts due to network or connections, be sure that you're going to get the recording of this webinar. All right, let's begin. Before we take a look at the overview of our organization, Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria, I would like to start by introducing myself. Yeah, my name is Kinu Kelvin-Jo. I hold a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and also a diploma in industrial safety and environmental engineering. Yeah, a lot of you might be wondering what I'm doing in this space, even with an engineering degree. But the beauty I came to realize there is that there are lots of opportunities in IT that does not even require you having a tech background. You see, provided you are committed to the course, you will definitely succeed in this field. Yeah, that's right. I began my cybersecurity journey in 2022 as a scholarship awardee under the MTN scholarship program, and currently I'm the community leader at Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria initiative. So I'll be your host in today's webinar, and I would say it's really a great pleasure doing so today. I'm not alone here tonight as the host. With me is my esteemed co-host, Andrew Onologo. Andrew, if you're here, can you hear me, please? Are we connected?
Yes.
Great. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking. And thank you for joining me here tonight. All right. So in due time, you're going to have the floor to make your presentation on the subject matter. All right. So everyone, myself and Andrew will guide us through this webinar this evening, and we'll be sharing insight and actionable tips on how to navigate and grow in the ever-evolving world of cybersecurity. So our next agenda is for the sake of those joining us for the first time, because we get to do this at the start of every webinar. So I would like to do a brief introduction to Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria Initiative before we proceed. Right. So Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria Initiative, also known as CYSEC NG, is an initiative focused on identifying and building the next generation of cybersecurity experts in Nigeria. We are basically a community-driven initiative that brings together young talents, students, and professionals to learn, compete, and grow as well in the course and, of course, ever-evolving world of cybersecurity. So CYSEC NG was founded by Mr. Victor P. Dono, who is our Director General, and the initiative started in 2016. So since then, we've held different programs at different levels, including the national level, state level, and even in universities. So here, as we can see, we have a couple of achievements from CYSEC NG from 2016 till date. And one of the most recent is that we have officially initiated Cybersecurity Challenge in the United States of America. And our first event was held last year, in 2024. And it was a success. It was. So for more information about CYSEC NG, you can please visit us at cysecng.com. All right, moving on. We also have our sister companies here, CYSEC Academy and Upgraded Era. At Upgraded Era, we are committed to providing reliable and innovative solutions to help organizations achieve their business objectives. On the other hand, CYSEC Academy is your go-to academy for cybersecurity certifications, practical workshops, and cyber defense trainings in general, So as a member of our community, as a member of Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria Initiative community, you will also have the privilege of getting most of these courses at a discounted rate from CYSEC Academy. So it's really beneficial being a member of CYSEC NG online community. So let's take some time to review the state of cybersecurity from the past year. Remember, as part of our topic for today's webinar, we're going to be reviewing cybersecurity, the trends from the previous year, and we're going to be looking at what we have in store for us in the coming years. So before we talk about the trends, one thing that comes to mind is cybersecurity, the concept of cybersecurity. A lot of us here in this space are, should I say, getting to know this concept for the first time. And a lot of us here are actually pros in the field, but just wanting to gain more insights. So what can we say cybersecurity is in general? Cybersecurity is basically the practice of protecting systems, networks, and data from digital attacks, unauthorized access, and even damage. So in cybersecurity, technologies, processes, and policies are always combined to see how we can defend against cyber threats so as to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information, which of course is what we regard as the CIA triad. So for today, we are going to be taking a dive into the key trends in cybersecurity from the year 2024 and lessons learned from major incidents and how we can adapt to stay secure. It's really important that we get to understand all these things because we will keep experiencing constant shifts because of the landscape. The landscape is constantly evolving. So there is always a need for us to keep evolving as those interested in getting into the field properly or those who are already in the field. So looking at what we have here, we have the DBIR report. It's a very popular report which is released yearly. So last year, from the result of the data breach investigation reports, DBIR, we can see that we had over 30,000 security incidents that we analyzed, with over 10,000 breaches from 94 countries. Wow. Wow. So the next question that comes to mind most likely is, how was this even possible? With cybersecurity and everything going on, like, how was this possible to have this amount of incidents? Now, stay with me. Now, let's look at the macro trends. That's from initial access. The initial access refers to the point of entry, how everything gets to start before you see people complaining online of being attacked by scammers or hackers online. So that's the initial access. So from what we have here, from our charts, we can see that we have credential, phishing, and exploitation being displayed. We can also see that these three categories make up the majority of attacks that occurred last year, being 2024. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at what these bridges are all about. We'll start with credentials, which of course is taking the larger volume here, 40%. So credential attack is a breach where attackers gain unauthorized access by using weak or stolen identities, such as username or password from a previous breach. So in this attack, what hackers do is that they try to steal or guess a username and password to break into your account. So we can see that this is also making 40% of the DBIR reports from last year. And the next category we're going to be looking at is the phishing category. Now, phishing is a type of social engineering attack, among others like vishing, smishing, pretexting, baiting, and the likes. Now, phishing is a type of online scam. A lot of us are very, very familiar with this, only that we don't just know that this is what the concept is all about. Now, it's a type of online scam where hackers try to trick you into giving away personal information like password, credentials, credit cards, or even bank details. Now, they usually do this by pretending to be someone you trust, like a close friend, or like your bank, or even a popular website. Now, as you can see, for the year 2024, it was observed that this attack ratio remained fairly stable compared to 2023. And it still remains like one of the most common and even effective methods for gaining unauthorized access to a network generally. And under the category of exploit vulnerability, as indicated here, it had like the most significant increase last year compared to 2023, with about 180% increase. Now, from empirical knowledge, last year actually marked the very first time we'll see vulnerability exploits catching up with phishing attacks, because phishing attacks is usually like on the very high side. And in 2024, we noticed that vulnerability exploit is now catching up with phishing attacks. And this is something that we really need to look out for in order to stay protected in 2025. So far, we've looked at how attackers can get through the doors of our network, right? Through the phishing and the likes. But a very big missing piece is the human element. You know, most times when an attack occurs, we are so quick to blame whatever is going on online, neglecting the fact that we as humans, we commit so many unethical blunders online. And these are things that once you don't have the right ethics or practice in staying safe online, we will keep falling victims of scams and hackers and what have you online. So we can see that from last year, it was no different. We had up to 60%, 68% of all breaches, and they all involved human elements. Human element involves human errors, as being unsafe, leaving your password unguarded. You have social engineering attacks, just like what we mentioned earlier, the phishing, pretexting, vishing. Also, weak passwords. Weak password is very, very key. A lot of us save our password. It's maybe our date of birth or our surname. we save our accounts using such passwords, which are very, very weak. And once an attacker tries to guess this 2-3 times, they'll get access to your account without any stress. Also, we have accidental leaks. Of course, we also understand the fact that these things can happen accidentally, but the best you can do is to minimize these errors to the barest minimum. So even if you have these loopholes or flaws, they'll be so easy to cover up that the attackers, before the attackers know it, you've already realized that, okay, you have this exposed and you cover it up. This also boils down to how we safeguard our systems. If you have a laptop, if you have your phone, ensure that you have it locked with passwords always. So now that we've covered these key trends, I would like us to take some time to look at some practicable steps organizations can take, or we as individuals can take, in order to strengthen our defenses against this breach based on the DBIR report. So the key takeaways that we have here, let's start off with phishing. Phishing in general was involved in about 68% breaches that had human elements, as with an average of we have 60 seconds as the fall time for individuals. Now, what this is trying to say is that it takes an average of 60 seconds for a victim, for someone to fall a victim of scam. Now, why this is important is that we have to make use of our MFA. That's the multi-factor authentication. This helps a lot. Even if your account is hacked, you always receive a notification confirming that this is you, or trying to gain access to this account or whatever. So it's always encouraged that we try to read up articles and have trainings done on phishing awareness, because you never can tell when you might be in the position where attackers might be exploiting your vulnerabilities and those moments where you leave all these things exposed. So it's always important that you take every opportunity you get to get an idea on what all these attacks are all about. Now, under credentials protection, of course, it's displayed that we have 40% of virtually all breaches, starting with stolen credentials, either directly or indirectly. Also, we have 180% increase in exploitation of vulnerabilities. Individuals, organizations, we are always advised to use the patch management programs and zero trust network access. Zero trust network access is a respecter of no man. It does not regard you if you are related to the person to say, okay, this is my brother's account, I can gain access because we share the same surname. No, every protocol must be followed. You must impute the username, the correct username, the password, and everything. So it does not compromise at any point whether you are related to the person or not. And finally, we can see that 15% of breaches involved a third party from the attacks. So far, we've successfully looked into these major trends from the previous year. 2024, a lot of persons are hoping 2025 gets better, because having this volume of attacks on the rise, it's not healthy for our space. So it's always advised that whatever safe practice that we can learn and know how to manage, it's very important that we hold these things tight, so that when we find ourselves in compromising situations, we will definitely know how to handle it. Now, without further ado, I would give my co-host, Mr. Andrew Osi, the floor to share his thoughts on the subject matter for today. So, Mr. Osi, I'll stop sharing my screen now, and you have the floor now to make your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Kelvin, and I welcome everyone to this webinar. Nice to have everyone here. So I'll be sharing my screen in the next minute. Okay. Yes. Everyone can see my screen, right? If you can see my screen, let me know.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So just to build upon what Kevin has said, the greatest factor we have in cybersecurity is the human factor, which most of the time is neglected because of, oh, we have technology and then we have process. But the thing we also have to understand is that people makes up the process and the technology we use in cybersecurity. So with this now, we are beginning this webinar and say, okay, how can I kickstart my cybersecurity, the trend and prediction for this year? Yes. Then I am Andrew Onoalogo, OC. Yes. So on a lighter note, you can call me a cyber diplomat. Later on, I'll explain why I'm being called that. I'm a network security engineer at SSL. I also have 1 year experience in the industry, meaning I started my cybersecurity journey November 30th, 2023. Yes, so I remember my dates. And then the cert I've gotten so far is Google Cybersecurity Professional. I'm certified in cybersecurity by ICS Square. And other things you can find about me is my background. I have a background in humanities, so I'm not from a science background, none from a computer background. So I studied international studies and diplomacy. That's why you find out that my other name is cyber diplomat, in the sense that for us who study international studies and diplomacy, ISD, we are called the diplomats. So combining cyber security and diplomacy together in cyber diplomat. And also we have seen the trend of threat actors who have become state actors too. We have seen the rise of North Korean and the likes of Iran and the likes of other countries have been trying to compromise systems around the world. So threat actors are not just restricted to private organizations or private individuals. Now it has gone beyond that. Nations are attacking themselves, and there's a likely possibility that the next third world war will be cyber war instead of a physical war. And also on the lighter note, I enjoy reading books, and currently I'm reading a deep work by Carl Newport. I like listening to podcasts and watching documentary. I also mentor people in cybersecurity and explore new stuff. And I have a popular quote I think at the end of the day will become something that is going to be helpful to everyone. And it's a quote that goes with knowledge comes understanding. So that's my belief. I believe when we have knowledge about something, it becomes very easy for us to understand. So I'm looking forward that after gaining this knowledge, we're able to understand, and then we can take the right step to begin our career in cybersecurity. So what will I be covering? Cybersecurity training 2025, building your career roadmap in cybersecurity, developing a strategy for landing your security role, or roadmap for advancement and growth in the industry. So each of them are covered extensively. So it's a very interactive session. So to be good that we are taking note of everything so that we can have questions to ask at the end of the day. Now, what is the global demand for cybersecurity? The global demand for cybersecurity has been one of the most interesting fields of the 21st century, in the sense that we have seen that the gap every day is needed. We need more hands in cybersecurity. So from our chart, you can see that the first one on our left, we can see that is a gap for the workforce. These are people that has to fill up the cybersecurity position around the world. In 2022, we saw that there was 3.4 million gap, and we're hoping that by 2023, that gap would have filled up. But there was also an extra million that was added to it. So we are seeing 4.0 million by 2023. Now in 2024, we're also seeing another gap, which is 4.8, meaning 8,000 persons are also needed in order to meet the gap. Now, these gaps we are experiencing cybersecurity are peculiar to each region according to the needs of that region. But most of these gaps can be found more in North America and Europe in the sense. And Africa in particular is also coming up, and Nigeria. There was a research that Nigeria also needs about 10,000 persons to fill up the cybersecurity rules we have, the gaps. And then the beauty about cybersecurity is that not just that we need the human hands, there's also this thing of the market. The market is becoming broader by the day. And then from the statistics Kelvin showed, you can see that ransomware was also part of what we experienced all throughout last year. And we have seen that non-state actors or threat actors who are states have been using ransomware to build up their own system. We have seen Lazarus Group, for example, which their whole ecosystem is built on ransomware. So you can see that companies are every day spending money on how to protect their infrastructure, to protect their resources. And this money they are spending is not just on the technology and also on the process, but also on the people. So we can see that from the other side of the chart, we are seeing the demand that is increasing. And there's this demand by 2030 is going to be over 6,557
Hello,
billion dollars.
OC.
Yes.
OC.
Can you hear
Sorry
me?
to interrupt you. I don't think we can. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clearly, but we are not seeing the other pages of the slide. It's just static.
Oh,
So please confirm from your end
oh,
to
okay.
ensure you have the right settings. Yeah, it's just fixed on the first page.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
just navigate to. Yes,
Okay, okay.
perfect. Okay. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
okay. So in case there's anything, you'll let me know. Oh, okay. So this is the global demand. So I don't know if you forgot to this point of this global demand. So this is the global demand for cybersecurity. So this is the trend we are seeing that last year alone there was 4.8 million gap. I mean, these are the set of people that is going to fill up the industry. And then these gaps are sometimes peculiar to regions, but these are cumulative of the entire world. But the demand is more or less in North America, which is the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and then Europe. And then we're also seeing a rise in Africa, Nigeria in particular, Nigeria and South Africa in particular, leading a great demand for it, since Africa is becoming more or less a hub for unicorns. So there's also this need for cybersecurity, people to also fill these roles to protect this unicorn from cyber threat. And then we can also see that the prediction for the market's expenditure is growing larger by the day. And then we can see in 2025, we are going to be spending 3.321 billion US dollars alone. And then you can see that this is what is going to go around, meaning there's more money to be spent, there's more investments to be made in the industry, which makes the industry more attractive. Then what is the salary compensation for those in cybersecurity? Now, this salary compensation is an average payment and is measured in US dollar. And then it's also a good thing that we notice that they are also peculiar to some regions and not. But this is the average rate you can get for anyone who is into this part of cybersecurity. You can see from cyber engineer over $136,000, cybersecurity manager over $132,000, same thing. And then these are applicable to each of the industries and according to your region where you stay. Yes. So in the case of in Nigeria, you can find that in some cases you can find an entry level big cybersecurity analysts, as the case may be. So depending on also the organization and how large it is. Now, what are the domains that are in high demand in cybersecurity? The first one on the list is artificial intelligence. With the rise of ChatGPT, with the rise of DeepSeek, and also the rise of deepfake. Deepfake in the sense of people using AI to do social engineering. And then we have seen that in the case of many elections around the world. And particularly, we have also seen it in people using it to scam people online. So the last one that happened recently that was quite familiar is one of the United States, where we saw North Korean threat actors getting IT job from the United States, but they were not in the United States. So they were using deepfake to cajole their employers to believe that, oh, they are from United States. So when there's a video call, the video call is being deepfake. And in essence, this is one of the threats. So this artificial intelligence now is also to also use it to combat cybersecurity, to combat threat actors within the industry. The next demand is network security. Network security is becoming very popular with the rise of almost everything going on our network. So network has gone beyond what it is. Now, we are seeing several threats on it. The same thing with cloud, with people deciding to move their infrastructure to cloud. We have been seeing that AWS of recent is trying to see a way they can implement policies that will prevent cyber threats from using their platform for command and control, meaning using their platform as a way of carrying out attacks to various malicious sites. And then we can also see application security, which Google has been trying to do as much as possible since they started Chrome. So we have been seeing that they have been noticing some vulnerability, which they have been trying to patch on. And this application security now has just gone beyond just clicking on any website. You can also go down to your extension you add to your browsers. So we also have to be careful. So these are parts of the work of a cybersecurity. Yes, also digital forensic. Digital forensic is, we also the rise of Pegasus, which is an Israeli spy malware. So once this kind of device gets on your phone, gets access to explicit information or permission, in the case of your camera, your voice, your location, and we are finding cases now when the phone is being affected, there's no way of getting it back. So it's the work of a digital forensic to see how was this spyware installed on the phone, what is the IOC of it, which is the indication of control. And then we have also seen pen testing as also the rise of penetrating testing. We saw that Google has also been doing a bounty hunt on those who will be able to penetrate their system and see, okay, if there's any new set of vulnerability. And then we're also seeing security architecture. These are sets of people who make policies that guide the cyber security. So more or less, these are governmental organizations. So we saw that last year alone, the US under Joe Biden's government made a cybersecurity policy that US organizations should not use any router that is made in China, because they discovered that they were using it. There was also a backdoor that gave the Chinese government a way of knowing what was happening within the infrastructure of that company. Now we're also seeing security management. Security management in the sense of managing security, cybersecurity within an organization. We have seen the case of KnowBe4 that does security awareness and also a phishing mail to train your user on how to know social engineering techniques being used by threat actors. And also the rise of risk management and compliance. So these are the set of people that enforce policies, the ISO, and then the other ones. So these are people who enforce the framework that guides organization or within the cybersecurity. So you see, like your bank. Now, your bank will tell you don't bring your own device, that every device that comes into the bank must be scrutinized, must have an endpoint, must have an EPU. So things like this, these are the works of risk management and compliance. Incident response and threat intelligence, these are the set of people that it has been attacked. So we saw the case of AMG, Lion Gate, which is a big hotel in the United States, that they experienced a ransomware attack, and the incident response and threat saw that it was just one of the colleagues that had a weak password he used in getting access to the industry, and then it affected the business for over 1 week, and the business reported that they lost over $1 billion US. So you can see that every domain in cybersecurity is becoming very important. Now we have the issue of identity and access management. We also saw last year, 2023, the issue of TEMS. So TEMS is also an identity and access management company. So they manage identity. Also saw that a worker within the company who is not supposed to use his personal email, use his personal email to log in, his personal email to log into the office PC, and his personal email has already been compromised. So that was how the whole system was shut down, and it affected key businesses within Europe. So security awareness and training, these are what we find normal NGOs doing, and like this one we are currently having now. Yes. Now, the beauty about cybersecurity is that we have two sides of it, technical and not technical. Now, technical, these are people who, if I'm to use the word, get their hands dirty. They are more or less the technical guys. They like to build things. They are more or less, they build the hard stuff. Why they not technical? These are people who more or less use their pen to do the magic. Now, under this technical and not technical, you can also find that their mind frame that guides this technical. So the technical functions can be the likes of network security, application security, cloud security, that ensures that there's zero trust within all this security. Now, the not technical can be a risk management and compliance, security awareness training. And then the beauty about cybersecurity is that there's a part you get to, you become more or less a non-technical guys, like your CSO, which is your Chief Information Security Officer, was once a non-technical guy that became it was once a technical guy that became a non-technical guy. So it's something I always encourage, that when people are beginning their careers in cybersecurity, they should try all aspects so that at least they know where they fit in. There are some people who are technical, they are very good in handling things, they are very technical, their hands are good. But while there are some persons, they are good with writing, they are good with leadership, they have good managerial skills, they can manage a good set of people. So these are it. But as you are beginning your career, we always encourage that you aim for the hybrid, meaning you should have technical, you should have leadership, you should have managerial. Because the time will come, your leadership skill is what's going to make them promote you. There's also a time that your technical skill is also what is going to make them promote you, also your management. So if you have all of them together, it makes you go very fast in your career. Then there's this myth that goes also with in cybersecurity, that technical skill is an all. And then from the slide, you can see that, the myth is, if you have 90% of technical skills, you are good to go. And I'll tell you that technical skill matters, but does not matter the most. Yes, it matters. It matters, but it does not matter the most. So the thing we have to understand that in order for you to be in cybersecurity or an IT, you have to learn to balance your technical skills and your soft skills. Soft skills are very critical in cybersecurity. Soft skills are called transferable skills. These are skills you can take from anywhere and use them in another industry. So soft skill can be in the case of a strong problem-solving skill, effective communication, teamwork, curiosity, researching. So these are soft skills that are needed in cybersecurity. So if you can balance these skills, it is needed. Because as I earlier said, for managerial roles, is your soft skill that is going to get you promoted. As there's this popular saying that technical skill is going to get you the job, but it is soft skill that is going to make you to keep your job. So it's something sometimes people fail to understand that, I'm good, I'm very good, my company cannot do without me. But then if you don't know how to communicate effectively, if you don't know how to work with a team, if you don't know how to do your own personal research, it becomes a problem for not just you, but for the team. And then in 2023, there was also a policy EU was trying to implement of that any breach that a company experiences, the CSO should be held responsible. Why? Because they find out that sometimes some breaches are called, but the chief information security officer will keep that information to himself for a week, 2 weeks, trying to keep the issue on a low. But whether you like it or not, this issue has already been on an escalate level because of customers are losing their money. So they were trying to say, okay, if you cannot communicate with us when there's a breach within the next 24 hours, I don't see why you should be a CFO and then you should be held responsible for such attack. So you can see that if you cannot communicate, if you cannot work with a team, it becomes even a problem for you after gaining your job. So technical skill will get you your job, but it is soft skill that will keep your job and even give you the promotion you seek. Now, what are the skills that are high in demand in cybersecurity? These are the skills. And then you can see from the top of the chart, the first one is strong problem-solving abilities. It's topping the chart because you will be in a situation where you Google, you will not see anything. But then because you already have that problem-solving skill, you take it step by step to get your problem solved. Because you Google, somebody might have experience, but then the person did not put out the knowledge out there. So, but it's your own personal research or curiosity of how to solve problem that will now do, okay, this is how it works, and this is not how it works, and then document it. The next skill that is in high demand is teamwork and collaboration, which is very important because in every cybersecurity organization, you work in a team. Nobody knows it all. They always say it in cybersecurity, nobody knows it all. Everybody is learning. So if you don't know how to communicate or work with the team when you have a problem, it becomes not only a problem for you, but also for the team. And in some cases, it even delay the project of that particular team because there's no teamwork and collaboration. The next one is also curiosity and eagerness to learn. You must be very eager to learn in cybersecurity because it is always changing. What you experience yesterday is not what you experience tomorrow. So if you are a very curious person, cybersecurity is good for you because it's ever changing. You're experiencing something today, tomorrow it has changed to something else. Next tomorrow is something else. Next tomorrow. So you just have to keep keeping up with the trend. Another one is strong communication, which is very important. When there's an incident, how do you communicate properly to your management? How do you communicate properly to the customer? How do you communicate properly to your team that ensure that, oh, they don't get it wrong? Because a miscommunication can make a team do the wrong thing that will further make the situation worse. But if there's an effective communication, it helps resolve the issue very fast. Then we can also see cloud computing security with the rise of everybody moving to the cloud. So more people are trying to put their infrastructures on the cloud and see ways they can protect them. The next one is strong strategic thinking, which is as important, knowing how to plan, especially for those who want to get involved in pen text. You have to learn how to think like the attacker. You have to learn how to think like the police because you are trying to put yourself in the situation. If I was in this situation, if I was an attacker, how will I see these things? These are strategic thinking, risk assessment and analysis and management. Knowing how important infrastructures is to the organization, what are the priorities, what should we put in place? If a firewall is down, what is the first thing that we should try to secure? Is it our servers or is it personal computers? So these are things you have to put into consideration and know how important the server is and how important the company's personal computer is. Security engineering is trying to ensure that, oh, you have the engineering skill to set up an application, to install an application, to see an application functions very well. Governance and risk compliance to ensure that, okay, are you keeping the local policy within your community? We have seen the case of the new law, our CBN made that every financial institution must have an endpoint agent on their computers to ensure that they are in full compliance with the standard, because they don't want a situation where the traffic going between the bank that is communicating between CBN and NISBS and then is being leaked out. So these are things that are very important. Then we are seeing artificial intelligence. We are seeing strong project management to know when project will end and when project will start. Yes, basically. And then next one is, how can you be qualified to become a cybersecurity? It's just theory thing, very simple. Knowledge, experience, and certificate. For somebody who is just beginning from the very start with no security background, with no computer background, the first thing that is important to you is knowledge. Knowledge. But if along the way, as you are learning your cybersecurity, you saw a free start that is important, like CC, it is best to jump for that opportunity and try. If you pass, it's good. If you don't pass, it's okay, and then you can also try for the next one. So knowledge is very important. The first knowledge is networking. you have to understand that network work. If you don't understand that network work, you don't understand why you should protect the network and why you should have to think like an attacker. Next one is IT fundamentals, how operating system work, virtualization. These are things you're going to find in the workplace. How to use an AD, how to use this, how to use that, how to set up a firewall. Which firewall is more important for our organization? Which endpoint can we use for it? Then the next one is your cybersecurity skill, understanding the principles guiding cybersecurity and everything that comes in cybersecurity. So the funniest thing about all these things is that the knowledge we need from cybersecurity are everywhere. Go on YouTube, you'll see them. Go on Coursera, you see them. Go on UADM, you'll see them. So there's the overflowing of knowledge in cybersecurity. So it's not a new field that you say, oh, I research on this topic, and then I'm not seeing anything. At least you see something and that you can try and practicalize. The next one is your experience. As you are getting your knowledge, you're also getting your experience. So experience is personal hands-on. Try to work on project. Anything you see, you try it out. Build your own personal lab and try it out. Internship. Apply for internship. There are companies who are offering free internship. You can try your luck and see, oh, how far can I go? The idea is to learn. So the idea is to learn. So once you can learn, it also helps build your portfolio. Now, for those in IT that wants to transit to cybersecurity, definitely you might have a cybersecurity team in your office. So you can job shadowing, meaning you can be seeing what they are doing, what they are not doing. From there, you are picking up, you are learning. Also, try to volunteer for organizations that are involved in cybersecurity. There are lots of them, just for you to do your personal research, and then you get them. Then there are certificates you can get from fundamentals to advanced. So for somebody that is involved in networking or network security, you can do CCNA, you can do CompTIA Networking Plus. So the choice is yours. And also, if you want to kickstart your cybersecurity, for somebody that is already in IT, you can do CC, Certified in Cybersecurity, and CompTIA Security Plus. As you progress, you can decide to do CompTIA CSE Plus or CE, which is Certified Ethical Hacker, as the case may be. Now, first thing first, now you are getting everything you need about cybersecurity. Where do you start from? Identify where you start from. First thing I always say that is very important is that man should think, man know themselves. People should think and know where they are and how to take critical steps. Now, for somebody who does not have a knowledge in cybersecurity at all, or does not have a knowledge about computer, it is best you start from the fundamentals of computer. The fundamentals of computer. There are videos out there, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you can watch, try and experiment with your personal computer. From there, you are getting knowledge. Then for somebody in IT, you already know that, okay, I've gotten computer knowledge. What is the next set of knowledge should I get? Next set of knowledge is now cybersecurity knowledge, and see how you can get. Then plan out your plan. What should I do? How should I do? How many minutes should I study in a day? What should I not study? What course should I take? What exam should I plan for? Who should I meet? Who should I not meet? Then after planning, it is important that you carry out your plan. As everybody is saying for 2025, we want to lock in. It is best you lock in on time. The year is still very fresh for all of us to lock in and get our achievements, so that by end of December or the ending of the year, you're happy that, okay, at least I might not get all my goals, but I got a good number of it. So yes, think, plan, and lock in to do. Now, step 2 is create a learning plan. And the beauty about it is that now some formal education are already giving, having cybersecurity course. Then sometimes the courses can come under information technology, as the case may be, or information science. So these are courses you can start, and others are also doing cybersecurity, pure cybersecurity. So if you have years to write JAM, you can apply for school that have cybersecurity and see and try your luck and start from there. And then for somebody that is already done with school, you can use self-education. Like myself, I did self-education. I had a mentor who guided me, and then all the other things, I was doing it myself and learning, try and error, make mistake, and then try, correct, get information from other people. These are self-education. Get courses. There are free courses out there. There's Coursera and other free courses you can get, and then you can start learning on your own. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you, oh, this is what you have to do. first thing first, you have to be committed to yourself. You have to be accountable to yourself. Because in being accountable, that is the only way self-education can work, because nobody is guiding you. Nobody, you are not reporting back to anybody that have I done this, have I not done this, done this. You're only reporting to yourself. Another way you can get your learning part is preparing for certificate exam. So for example, now you want to write networking plus exam, you get the resource for networking plus. As you are reading for the exam, you are getting it. And the beauty about getting certificate is that you are getting two things. You are getting a start, you are getting a knowledge. But if you just want to go, let me just get the start. At the end of the day, the start will get you to the doorstep of the job. But then the start will not allow you to, aside without your knowledge, you will not get the job, because when it's not time for technical question and answer, because you did, oh, let me just get the start without understanding these things, it becomes even hard for you to explain it to the management that is trying to employ you. Then there are trainings, boot camps that you can try out, like the one this current organization hosting the webinar is doing. So there are trainings that you have to check and see, okay, which one can I fit in? Which one do I not fit in? Which one am I interested in? When can I start? This is to create your own learning path. No path is better than the other. It's just for you to strategically plan yourself wherever you are and then take it. Some persons can take all four paths, from formal education to self-education to certificates to training programs. Some persons might take two, others might take one. So depending on where you are and know where you are and where do you want to go is the first thing you have to know how to create your path. Now, these are the roadmaps in cybersecurity. There are various roadmaps in cybersecurity. This is one of them. And then these are the, from the other side, you see, these are the stats that is required for each role you want to take. So cybersecurity is just more than pen testing. It involves both defensive and defensive and attacksive. So meaning in the sense that there are people who defend, there are people who attack. So yes, so you have to now choose, where do I fit in? Do I fit into defense? Do I fit into the attack side of cybersecurity? But in general, it is good that you have the knowledge of both. And later on, you now choose what part is best for you. Oh, am I good with defensive? Am I good with attack? So anyone that works best for you, you choose your path. So as you go along, you now decide, oh, what side am I taking to back up my knowledge that I've already gained? Now, this is a chart that tells us, okay, yesterday you were born, your life passed. Yesterday is the past. Now you have today to decide, oh, do I really want to take cybersecurity? Because cybersecurity is not an easy journey. There are some days you research, and then you are not getting anything. That day you might just need to sleep so that you can wake up tomorrow, and then what you have been looking for 1 week will just be staring at you because you already have fatigue. So it is important that you decide to take your path today. Today is the day that is in our hands, and tomorrow they say is present. So we have to try as much as possible to decide our fate. Yeah, now, okay, this is what I want. This is not what I want. This is where I want to take my path. This is not where I want to take my path. Now, step 3, document your journey. This is also important. So documenting your journey also makes you keep track of your progress. Like in my own case, I celebrate, to be honest, I celebrate my anniversary anytime any year I have. I always celebrate November 30th as my anniversary of me entering cybersecurity. It's another way of tracking my journey to see, okay, this last year, what have I done? What have I not done? What do I want to do in the following year? It also helps me keep track. Now, your documentation can come in many forms. You can decide to have a journal, like myself, to write down everything you want and how you want it and how you want to achieve it. What cert do you want? How do you intend to get this cert? How many months will you take to prepare for this cert? Okay, after this cert, what is the next thing I want to do? So in that way, you're able to keep track your record on what you are doing and what you are not doing. In that way, you know where you are. Because if you think, oh, my brain is recording where I am, you might find at the end of the day, you are running in circles. Instead of you moving forward, you are running in circles. Although the road is not straight, but it is better to, as you say, it's better to go slow in the right direction than to go fast in the wrong direction. So that way of documenting, you can use your LinkedIn, create a Medium account, use Twitter. If you go to Twitter, you see a lot of persons documenting their journey. They'll tell you, oh, I started cybersecurity this year. Today I am gotten this cert, I've gotten that cert. You see them on LinkedIn is Medium. Sometimes you see them, oh, they are showing up, but some persons are using it as a medium to document their journey and appreciate where they are. And then when you click on their profile, you start seeing their journey one after the other. That okay, this person did not just start yesterday that, oh, I'm just in cybersecurity and they got all this starting one day. You can see some persons, oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then till you now be like, oh, this is where I am. Find out the journey started very small. They say the journey of a million mile starts with a single step. Then build your portfolio in the sense of you need a portfolio because this is what you show to your employers. So for easy thing, you can use your Google Drive, which already has 15 gigabytes free for you to use. And that way you are saving all the projects you are doing, how you document it, and how you do it. If possible, if you use a video, you are more or less a video person, you can record yourself of you doing the video and then put it on your Google Drive. That way when a client asks you or a company asks you, please, you will need a service, you can just bring out your drive, your Google, send them the link, and then they check, and then they say, okay, yes, this guy has experience. It might be the shy type that does not want to put out their portfolio out there. They want to say, okay, I don't want people to see my work. It might also be the type that, okay, I want it out there. So anyone that works better for you. And that one is also engaging in community. Because when you meet people in communities, you learn that, okay, I was once like this person. Now I'm like this. Then I want to be like this person speaking on the podium. This is that people inspire themselves. They'll be like, okay, today I'm an audience. Tomorrow I want to be the speaker in this event. Next tomorrow I want to be the organizer. Next tomorrow I want to be here and there. So in that way you are seeing yourself, okay, this is the journey I have. And then the beauty about documenting your journey is that you're not just documenting your journey to keep track of your record. It's also to build your credibility, because if people know, okay, that this person started from scratch, they would not be like, okay, yes, this person deserves the glory they are getting. It's not that they just came up out of one day. It also makes you reflect on lessons learned. Oh, what mistake did I make in my last job? What mistake did I make there? What mistake should I not make here? What step should I take? In that way, you are learning your lessons that nobody is going to teach you, but life itself is already teaching you from your job in cybersecurity. Then you're also inspired on this, because there's somebody who be like, I want to be like this guy. This guy has tried. We have two of us have similar background. We went to the same secondary school, went to the same university. I remember when it was like this every time. So in that way, you are inspiring others to be like, okay, cybersecurity is something that is achievable. Like myself, I came from a humanity background, pure art, with no background in computer. But I started from scratch. I know there are also people here also who are from pure art background. Nothing about computer they have got, they have. It's just them using their cell phone, or even just using Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word to get knowledge about computer. But it is possible for you, just for you to keep your mind open, that you want to learn, you are ready to learn, and you want to learn. Now, step 4, gaining experience. Can you gain experience? Internship. Apply, you get disappointment. As I will say, you get breakfast, you get love letters. So anyone that is coming, some days if you might think you have gotten, you get a good love letter, and then you open it, it's breakfast. It is like that. But that does not stop us from trying. Some people might be lucky, they apply once and they get once. Others, when they are unlucky, they will just apply more than once and they will not get. So it's just depending on keep trying. What mistake did I make from the last one? What did I not see in the interview? What did I see that made them to think, okay, it's not worth the try? And the next one is job shadowing for those who are in IT. There are people in your department that is in cybersecurity. Okay, I want to see how they do it. I want to learn from them. I want to ask them questions. I don't want to be shy. I want to take this thing, because if you decide to be like, I don't want to, it's better to learn from somebody who's already doing it on the job than to go on YouTube that with somebody that just, okay, they just want to watch. You are learning, and then the person is telling you, oh, this is a mistake I made. If I know, I would have done like this. I would have not done like this. The third one is networking with cybersecurity teams. There are lots of them. There are a lot of them online. They are on Twitter. You can see them when they are having conversation. You can just join and see their Twitter space. Like this webinar now is a good one. Then you just join and gain your experience. This is how you get. Most of the time, some of them are free. It's just for you to have your time and be mindset that I am ready to learn, and then you are good to go. Now, the next one is homegrown labs or outsourced lab. Homegrown labs in the sense that they are building your lab from the scratch. This is what you use to play out your everything. Outsourced lab can be, okay, I'm using the cloud. I want to pay I want to pay Azure to create a virtual machine for me. Yes. But sometimes homegrown is better because you are building it from the scratch. You are getting your experience. Now you're understanding, okay, how does the server communicate? How does it not communicate? What are the networking ports I'm using? What are the form of networking? Yes, these are it. And then some organization can go further of having their own labs, their own virtual machine that they will expect to set up so as to try in the office before going to a client site. Next one is reward project. Oh, you see people doing projects, you want to try. Okay, there's a thing that there's a vulnerability that was noticed. How does this vulnerability work? How does it communicate? Does it do what are these? These are things you look out for and then you work with it. Another one is content creation. If you are the type that okay, you learn by teaching or you learn by sharing the word, okay, that's for you. Do what you do. But one thing I always encourage with content creation is always try to put out value so that at the end of the day you don't miss the point. Because there are some days you get one like, other days you get 100. The day you are getting 100, don't feel okay and become an authority in the industry that my word become a law. Because when you show that you're an authority, even though people are saying you're on this, they will not like to help because you already claim that you're an authority. And meanwhile, you're still in your learning phase. But then, even though you're getting 0 likes, it does not mean you now have to give up. You now have to look at what am I not doing? Am I doing it well? Is it what people to see? Yes, the next one is also volunteering for non-profit. Look at organization that is voluntary. There are text events that comes up. Try as much as possible. Yes, they will not pay me. I want something that will pay me. At first, the money will not always be encouraging. But then, when you look at the experience and the glory you get later on, these are sometimes what inspire us to do what we do. Not because of the glory now, but because of the glory of later. Now, these are technical resources you can get. This is Cisco Networking Academy. This is CyberSec Academy, which is the organization hosting this webinar. You have good courses there. There's Hack the Boss, there's Try Hack Me, and there are various resources out there. You just have to choose which one works best for you and which one fits your own personality. If you are the type that learn by playing games, you can look for it. If you are the type that learn by watching videos, go for it. If you are the type that learn by reading books, there are good resources out there. But then, as you are reading, or you are studying, you're getting your resources, it's good that you are applying it so that you know what you are doing, so that it does not feel like, okay, I'm just getting the knowledge, then I don't even know how they work. Now, step 5, the beauty about cybersecurity is that learning never ends. Ask anybody. You learn till you leave the job. And you find some cases where people are so tired to learn that they'll tell you, oh, I'm not doing cybersecurity again. They are leaving the job and they'll start another career. So it's their choice. But then you have to be open to learning, down from your younger colleague to your senior colleague, down to your friends. You have to be ready to learn, because what you think you know today has changed tomorrow. And then you might have not checked. But then how do you keep up? Now, how can you keep up with learning? One way I do is to read cybersecurity news every morning. Is my routine. Try as much as possible to read cybersecurity news so that I'm abreast about what is happening, because I cannot be everywhere. But at least if I've seen somebody who have done the research on, I'm getting the knowledge and then I understand what is happening. There are good podcasts out there about cybersecurity. Listen, there are good documentaries there. Watch. There are other good books there that you say, okay, well, there are other conferences we have. There are webinars we have. That is the way you can learn, because you can never learn everything from just sitting down in one place. You have to search. That's the beauty about cybersecurity. You keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning. And as you are learning, you are growing. Because what stops you from the other person is because the person does not learn. But once you open your mind that I want to learn, whether from old, young, you are good to go. Now, in conclusion, you have to be ready to get qualified. As I said, your qualification will get you the job, but it's your technical knowledge and your soft skill that's going to make you take and keep the job. So there are places where your qualification is what is needed, in the sense that, oh, some company will tell you that a minimum of security plus, if you don't have it, They don't care whether you have done 10,000 projects. Sometimes they don't care because they don't believe. Like in the case of US, for those who wants to travel out, it is necessary that you get one of the CompTIA for your own field. So if you don't have it, they will not even consider, the machine will not even process your CV to the next level. So it is good that you get qualified and know that this is what I want. After getting it, then get your knowledge, then apply for that job and grow. Yes, you get breakfast, you get love letter. But sometimes our love letter should not now make us relax, and our breakfast should now not make us lose fit. And the next thing is that we should always grow and grow and grow. That's the beauty about cybersecurity. And then to wrap it up, as I said when I was beginning, that the beauty about everything about life is that with knowledge comes understanding. So we have gotten the knowledge about cybersecurity. We have understood it. Now the next thing we can do is to lock in. Now this is the OSS of cybersecurity and the importance of cybersecurity. So I actually thank everybody for listening to this, stepping into this webinar. Thank you.
Your qualification will get you the job, but soft skills will keep you and keep your job. Thank you very much, OC. I mean, I enjoyed every moment and every part of this. So yeah, OC just took us through the demand charts as part of what he just displayed now for the year 2025. He also touched on the average salary for some roles in cybersecurity. And an important point he raised was that before you say you want to get into cybersecurity, you must gather the necessary background, knowledge, experience, and certification. Now, finally, he pointed out the importance and necessity of volunteering for a non-profit. And this is very key. Here now you have CYSEC NG here for you. So everything you need regarding that is at your fingertips. So once again, thank you very much, OC, and thank you for the wonderful presentation. I'm sure a lot of us must have gained a lot from the roadmap which you just laid out. So please, if you have any questions, now is the perfect time to ask. Just raise your hand and indicate you would be asked to unmute your microphone and we can get to hear from you. So please, if you have any question, please do so now. Now is the time. If you have any question, please. We have about 5 minutes for this session. So if you have any question relating to what OC has presented on, or anything you would like to find out in getting started in cybersecurity, now is the time to ask. Okay, I can see Codebook. Codebook, kindly unmute your mic and ask your question, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you very much, Josie, for this wonderful presentation. And so my question is, you mentioned that you actually have a background in humanities, right? Right. So how did you not transition from that your background to cybersecurity? Is it that you just woke up one morning and just said, okay, cybersecurity? So how was the transition process for you? And so tell us the steps that you took to get to this phase now. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay. So Kevin, is everybody asking if I answer or ask one at a time?
No, just answer one at a time so we don't get to mix up
Okay.
and forget vital points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that question. Very, very important. So actually, I started my journey in the university. To be precise, I was in 300 level, going to 400 level. Yes, I started in September. Actually, I tried other things. I tried coding, for example. But then I was looking at, I was going to be done with school in 1 year time. So what do I have? Do I want to stay 1 year extra at home and learn how to code, how to build project? And then I said, okay, cybersecurity is a good field, down with the help of some key persons. And then I decided to jump in. I got my resources. As I was learning along the line, I applied for Google Coursera course on Google Professional. That was my first cert. So as I was learning, I saw CC. I applied for CC the night I saw it. And then when I saw the deadline, the time for application was that it was the only time I had was November 30th. And the funniest thing is that November 30th was on a Thursday. And on Monday, on Tuesday of the following week, which was the first week of December, we were exam. And then I don't want a situation I'm going to write exam during Christmas. So I decided to take it 30th, and then as I wrote my exam. So after writing my exam, so trying to prepare for the exam also gave me the knowledge I needed. So soon as I was done with getting my start, the following year, which was 2024, I decided that it was project I was going to do because I got in the SAT. But now I needed the experience to back up my SAT. So that's what I did. And then I keep building. So I started from scratch. I got basic computer knowledge and then decided to dive into cybersecurity. This was how I began the whole thing. Not like I just, like that. Yes. So honestly, is that, are you curious? I'm a very curious person. And then also be accountable to yourself. It's very important because some days, even your mentor might forget, okay, I'm mentoring this guy. But then when you remember that I am accountable, what is the importance of me doing this thing? I did it like my life depended on it, and actually my life depended on it. So I just had to do all that. As I was doing my final year project, I was doing cybersecurity. So there was no excuse for me. So I don't know if you get if that answers your question. So know where you are and what you want to do, and then commit to reach to the last part, to your full. Yes. So some days were challenging, but the days that was challenging, I sleep or I lift with. That's just for me. Yes. Kevin, I'm done. I don't know if you
All
have
right, thank you very much, OC. Code book, I hope you are clear on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think another thing that you mentioned that I really liked is actually the fact that he said you just have to be curious, you have to be consistent and committed. Yeah, I thank you. Something to take
Yes.
on. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sunday, Serena, did you raise your hand, please? Sunday, can you hear me? Okay, maybe not. Is there any other question before we proceed? No questions? All right. Thank you very much once again, OC. You can stop sharing your screen now, so we'll proceed to the final stage. Okay, I will be sharing my screen once again. Yeah. I believe everyone can see my screen. So like I stated at the beginning of the webinar, we are going to be having just a very light giveaway of what about 3,000 naira airtime to 3 persons. So you can only answer a question just once. This is just to lighten the mood before we move to the final session for this webinar. So without wasting much time, let's proceed. So first question, what is the CIA triad in cybersecurity? If you know the answer, just raise your hand. Let's see the fastest finger. Prince Carlos, sorry, I don't want to murder your name. Teteku.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good evening.
So, good evening, Prince.
So the C stands for confidentiality. The I
Okay.
stands for integrity.
Okay.
And the A stands for availability.
That's correct, Prince. You just won yourself an airtime worth 1,000 naira. So I would, before the end of this session, I would reach out to you to get your details and how you want us to send it to you. Great. Let's
Okay.
move to the next question. Okay, this is the answer here, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So for question 2, what does the S in HTTPS stand for? Stella and Farouk, who it's quite difficult, getting. Well, I can see Stella's name on my screen first, so I'm guessing Stella raised her hand first. Okay, Stella first. Okay, Stella.
Secure. It stands for
Secure, that's
secure.
correct. Secure is correct. Thank you very much, Stella. We'll reach out to you as well. Secure. And finally, what's the full meaning of IP? This should be a piece of cake. No, Stella, you can't raise your hand 2 times. Local hosts. Local hosts, you can unmute your mic now and tell us what IP means.
IP stands for Internet Protocol.
That's correct, local host. So we have our 3 winners already: Prince, Stella, and local hosts. So please just pin a comment in the chat session here, so I won't get to forget as we proceed. So that was just for the road. So next now, give me a second. All right, before we wrap up, like I stated, we are going to be announcing the winners of our just concluded CTF challenge. And like I said earlier, in the month of December, we had an incredible CTF challenge where participants got to put their cybersecurity skills to the test. Yeah, so we saw some amazing problem solving, persistence, and creativity, of course. And now it's time to recognize the top 3 performers. But before we announce the winners, I want to take a quick moment to appreciate everyone who participated. I mean, like whether you solved one question, one challenge, or even made it to the top of the leaderboard, at least you actually took a step towards sharpening your skills. And that's what, for me, truly matters. So let's get into it. We are going to start with the 3rd place winner. From our analysis, this individual actually showed an impressive consistency throughout the competition. I mean, like tackling some of the trickiest challenges in the CTF. So our winner in the 3rd place is Shadow. Shadow is his code name. Shadow came 3rd in the CTF challenge, and you'll be receiving the prize. We have your email. We've been communicating so far, and yeah, you'll get a response from us after now. So congratulations, Shadow. You came 3rd in the challenge. All right. Moving on, would acknowledge our 2nd place winner now. Now, in our 2nd place, this person actually demonstrated a very deep understanding of the challenge, and of course, he had like one of the fastest response times in solving the challenge. So, coming in 2nd place is error 404.exe. Like this guy is one genius, and I noticed that through his activities in our community platform online, questions, and the 100 days of cybersecurity challenge we are currently on, he has been very, very active, and I'm really excited he was able to come this far and showcase his talent in solving challenges. So congratulations, Error. You would receive a message from us in regards to your prize. And finally, the moment we've been waiting for, our CTF, our CTF champion. Now, this individual did not just top the leaderboard, but he also solved some of like the toughest challenges with remarkable efficiency. We provided some tasks which should be completed, and he was really impressive. Yeah, so he really like truly earned this victory. And the first place winner of our CTF is local hosts. You've just collected our 1,000 naira, and yet you're coming first again. So congratulations to you, local hosts. We are really excited you were able to come this far, and not just you, a huge congratulations to all our winners. I mean, your hard work and determination paid off. And to our other participants, please don't stop here. Keep upping your game and your talents, your skills, everything, and get ready for more challenges in the future, because I can assure you that more CTF challenges will keep rolling out from Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria. So for our winners, I'll be reaching out to you shortly with details on your prizes and next steps. So stay tuned. Once again, thank you all for being part of this journey, and trust me, the cybersecurity industry needs passionate individuals always. So like OC said, keep learning and always keep looking for opportunities to grow in the field. And let's also try to continue building a safer. Yes, sorry about that. All right, before I draw the curtains close, we are privileged to have the presence of our Director General, Mr. Victor Idono. We're really glad. I am particularly excited he's here with us this evening, because being here it actually raises our spirits always, and he's constantly around to keep us motivated, participating no matter how little the activity is. So, Mr. Victor, good evening and welcome again.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Kelvin. Well done, everyone. Well done also to the winners of both the questions and the concluded Yuletide challenge. Congratulations, everyone. I've actually been part of this webinar from inception till this moment. I must say it has been an awesome one. Like the speaker said, or the co-host said, nobody, or there's no point in cybersecurity where you say you've attained it all. We keep learning every now and then, and I can comfortably say that yes, I've also learned one or two things this evening from all of the things that have been happening so far. So just a way of saying thank you to everyone. I think it's also important we share more details about the CTF. I'm actually trying to see how I can get that report. I don't know if Favor is online. Favor should give us a breakdown of the CTF, total number of persons that participated, total number of games, etc. Because I think we have over 300 persons that participated in the CTF. Yes, it was actually an amazing number, and we had persons that scored over 7,000 points on the CTF. So yes, it's been awesome and it's been fun. At least these are first CTF we're playing online for the Cybersecurity Challenge Nigeria Initiative community. So moving forward, there's going to be a lot of CTF that will be coming up in the coming weeks, in the coming days, definitely in the coming months, and of course, it's an avenue for everyone to learn. So beyond the winners winning, they have also taken their time to send in their walkthroughs. So for every participant, everyone that have participated in the CTF, we are going to be publishing the walkthroughs for everyone, so that you can also take your time, watch through what they have done, and places where you made a mistake or where you're not too sure of what to do next, you can learn from it. Then, of course, if you have any question, always feel free to ask questions. So if Favor is ready with that detail, she can give us a little breakdown of the total number of participants, and more details about the Unitide Challenge CTF that we just concluded. Once again, congratulations, everyone. Congratulations to the participants, and of course, for those of us present, there is a lot of goodies. Although, have we announced the details for the prizes for the winners? So primarily, that's all I have for everyone this evening. Well done, everyone, and Mr. Kelvin, well done.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Victor. It's really nice to always hear from you, your words of encouragement, and helping us and guiding us in forging our paths in this very elegant industry. So thank you very much once again, sir. Yeah, so as we've just announced our winners, and we are going to be reaching out to them via their emails. So please, I know some of us present here are not members of our online community platform. So if you just got to see the webinar link, maybe on social media, and you did not register actually on the platform, you can send an email, just an email confirming that you need a recorded session to community@cysec.ng. community@cysec.ng. So I'll just quickly put it here on the chat box. community@cysec.ng. So if you know we don't have your email, you can just send us a message via that email and we'll respond. Okay, let me just have this pinned. Yeah. So once again, thank you all, and always remember that cybersecurity is not just about protecting systems. It's always about safeguarding the future. So keep learning, stay curious always, and be the shield that makes the digital world safe for us all. So thank you all for joining us once again, and have a lovely night rest and stay safe always. We'll draw the curtains here now.